Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review. This review is for Family Reunion Love and Hip Hop Edition Season 3 Episode 6. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Let's just get right into this review because so much messy shit happened in this episode. So at the very beginning of this episode, Scrap and Alexis Sky were getting pretty cozy with each other in the pool. And listen, I think that it's fine if the two of them are attracted to each other and they're just trying to enjoy their time on the trip by being flirty and maybe even hooking up with each other. As long as they're both on the same page, then I feel like it's okay. But I feel like it's the other people on the trip making it something bigger than what it needs to be. Everybody on the trip is kind of making it seem like the two of them are going to get into a relationship. And listen, Scrap made it very clear in this episode when he was talking to Fresher and Gunplay that he has no interest in settling down with just one woman, but he wants multiple women. And I think that if that's what he wants, he needs to go after women who want the same thing as him, because at the end of the day, I don't feel like he should be entertaining or going after any woman who wants to be monogamous, because then she's going to get hurt in the process, because he's making it very clear that he doesn't have intentions of being faithful. Now, I feel like Alexis should look the other way, because when it comes to Scrap, he made it clear that he wants multiple women, not just one. And Alexis already opened up in this episode, well, not in this episode, but in this season of the show, that she has dealt with a lot of toxic relationships, and she stated that she doesn't really know what love is because she never really experienced it with a man. And so I feel like Scrap is not the person who's going to give that to her. But I also feel like there might end up being some type of drama between Carly and Alexis on this trip, because like I said before, Carly was involved with Scrap at one point, and I feel like once it gets around to her that him and Alexis Sky are getting cozy with each other, I definitely feel like she's going to have an issue with that. Now, Jen is still upset at the conversation that she had with Fresher in the previous episode, where he stated that he wanted to go to the courthouse to get married rather than actually having a wedding. And she does not want that. She wants an actual wedding. And she feels like he's kind of pushing off trying to get married, and they've been engaged for a really long time. And honestly, I feel like they wasted each other's time in this situation, because I honestly feel like she's always wanted to be married, and I feel like he knows that she's always wanted to be married. And I feel like he just gave her the ring to shut her up, and I feel like he's perfectly fine with just being engaged and never actually walking down the aisle. And because she stayed with him all this time without actually walking down that aisle, he feels like she doesn't really care and she's not going to leave him anyway. And I also feel like she knew deep down inside that he really didn't care about being married, because if they've been engaged for this long and they still haven't gotten married, and every time she brings up the topic of them getting married, he kind of shoves it off, I feel like she knew deep down inside that he never really wanted to get married in the first place. And if that's a deal breaker for her, if that's something that she truly wants, and she made it clear to him that that's what she wants and he's not going to do it, I feel like she should have ended the relationship a long time ago. And so I feel like the two of them have wasted each other's time. Now, Fresher did say when he was talking to Gunplay and Scrap that the reason why he doesn't want to have a wedding is because of the fact that Jen wants to have a really expensive wedding, and he feels like they need to be saving money and investing it instead of using it up on a wedding. And I kind of agree with him on that. I do feel like if she wants it to be too extravagant and too expensive, I feel like that's irresponsible, especially if they don't have money like that. And I really don't think they do. I'm not pocket watching, but I don't think that they really have it like that. And so I just feel like she wants a little bit too much when it comes to this wedding. But I feel like it's also a cop-out for him. I feel like it's an excuse for the two of them not to actually get married. I feel like they could compromise on that situation. I feel like they don't have to do a huge wedding that's really expensive, but they don't have to go to the courthouse either. So Shekinah ended up coming on the trip in the previous episode, and she stirred the pot a lot. I mean, she got under a lot of people's skin in the previous episode. And so in this episode, Mariah Lynn decided to ask Shekinah what her issue is with Lyrica, because if you watched last week's episode, you would know that Lyrica went up to Shekinah and tried to shake her hand when she arrived on the trip, and Shekinah basically gave her the cold shoulder and was really rude to Lyrica, and nobody understood what the issue was because nobody knew that the two of them had any beef. And so in this episode, Shekinah tells Mariah Lynn that the reason why she has a problem with Lyrica is because Lyrica had DM'd her on Instagram and asked her if she could promote her music on her page. And when Shekinah went on to Lyrica's page, it said follow back where it says follow. And so Shekinah felt like that meant that Lyrica unfollowed her. But in my opinion, when you go on Instagram and it says follow back when you click on somebody's page, that means that that person's following you and you're not following them. So I'm confused as to what exactly Shekinah's issue is with Lyrica. And then on top of that, she stated that Lyrica said that, Shekinah was bad for her business, and so she really didn't want to associate with her. And listen, a lot of people have said that about Shekinah. So if she's mad at Lyrica for saying that, then it is what it is. But Shekinah can be messy sometimes. Her and Carly are really messy. And although some of the things that Shekinah says is true, I feel like she needs to learn how to bite her tongue a little bit, because it comes off as extremely messy. So they end up throwing this pool party, and Chaotic is a huge flirt. I feel like he wants to find somebody to hook up with on this Jamaica trip, and so he's flirting with everybody that he can. He started off flirting with Amara, and then he went on to flirt with Tiara, who he kept saying her name wrong the entire friggin' episode. And then he goes up to Lyrica's room and starts flirting with her. Apparently, Lyrica ended up hurting her knee in the previous episode. I don't understand how she hurt her knee, because she didn't participate in the soccer game, but she definitely had her knee wrapped up and she was laying in bed, and he came up there and he was being very flirtatious with her. I feel like none of the ladies are taking him seriously, because he's flirting with everybody on the trip. But it was definitely funny to watch, but I did feel like he was doing a bit too much. Speaking of doing too much, Chaotic planned an activity for everybody to participate in at this pool party that they threw, and the activity was that the ladies have to bend over a table and put a pie on top of their butt, and the guy has to come behind them and eat the pie off their butt, and then whoever finishes the pie first wins. I thought that was extremely creepy and weird. Like, I understand Chaotic wants to find a lady on the trip, but he's not going to find it this way, because he's coming off really, really strange. I thought it was weird that, he told Shay to come participate so that he could eat the pie off of Shay's butt. I wouldn't have done it if I was Shay, but it was kind of funny to watch, although I did think that it was a little weird that Mama Jones wanted to participate in the activity. She didn't actually participate, but she offered to participate in it. Spice ended up coming downstairs to join everybody for the pool party, and she sat down with all the ladies and she let them know that the one thing that she really wanted for her birthday was for Mariah Lynn and Carly to make up with each other after the fight that they had a few episodes ago. And listen, if I was Mariah Lynn, I would have told Spice that I did not want an apology from Carly, because why is it taking Carly this long to apologize? And then on top of that, why does Spice have to force Carly to apologize to Mariah Lynn? Oddly enough, though, when Carly came downstairs, she started off by apologizing to all the ladies on the trip and told them that she is sorry if she offended anyone, or if, she rubbed some people the wrong way. That wasn't her intentions. And then she goes on to apologize to Mariah Lynn. And listen, I agree with Mariah when she told Carly that she would not accept her apology, because I wouldn't have accepted the apology either. I don't understand why Carly would start an apology off by apologizing to all the ladies in the group when she didn't, fight all the ladies in the group. She snuck Mariah Lynn. She gave Mariah Lynn a cut on her face. She had Mariah Lynn pop 3 of her nails off, and then she had some bruises on her legs. So I would not accept the apology either. And then on top of that, Carly tried to play victim in this conversation. She tried to talk about how she gets bullied all the time. And listen, I have been watching Love and Hip Hop for a very long time, and I have yet to really see Carly be bullied. I see her be very messy, and then when it's time for everybody to confront her on her bullshit, then she wants to try to play a victim and act like she's being attacked. Now, if she's talking about being bullied on social media, then I agree. Yeah, some people do come into her comment section and say really mean things to her on the internet, but so does everybody else that's on the show. And so I don't feel like she's special for that. And so I wouldn't have accepted the apology either. So at the very end of this episode, Carly decides to throw Spice a birthday party, and things seem to be going well until Tiara finds out that Shekinah was talking shit about her in the previous episode. So Tiara goes up to Shekinah and she asks her if she was asking people if she paid 50 Cent the money that she owes him. And Shekinah denied this, even though she absolutely did. In the previous episode, when Tiara was performing for everybody, she went up to Chrissy and she asked her if Tiara had paid 50 Cent the money that she owes him. And Chrissy was clearly uncomfortable with Shekinah asking her this question. And so obviously Chrissy is the one who went back and told Tiara what Shekinah said. Now, Shekinah denied this when Tiara asked her this question, because she said that she had already had a conversation with Tiara about the whole 50 Cent thing in the previous episode, which she did. Shekinah and Tiara were talking about the 50 Cent thing, but this was after Shekinah was talking shit about Tiara to Chrissy, and so it's still messy on Shekinah's part either way. Now, Shekinah gets so mad at the fact that somebody went back and told Tiara what she said that she confronts everybody and asks who said this. Now, Chrissy does admit that she's the one who told Tiara what Shekinah said about her in the previous episode. And so I feel like Shekinah really didn't want those problems with Chrissy. And that's the reason why she didn't really act tough when it came to Chrissy, because Chrissy definitely stood up and walked towards Shekinah. And Shekinah really didn't have the same energy for Chrissy that she had for Lyrica, because in this episode, Lyrica calls Shekinah loud and annoying. And that's when the two of them get into it. And they got into it pretty bad. They almost fought. And I don't know if they fight in the next episode, but it looked like that's what was about to happen at the very end of this episode. So those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Family Reunion Love and Hip Hop Edition. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all. And until next time, I will talk to you guys in my next video.